She wasn't supposed to be here. A woman standing on a construction site, hands blistered, body starving, heart unbroken. They said she didn't belong, but they didn't know why she worked. 4 little boys waiting at home, 4 empty plates on the table. Every brick she lifted was a promise, every scar, a memory she refused to let fade. Years later, those same sons would walk into bright cities and forget the hands that built their tomorrow. But life has a way of circling back, and when it does, the truth doesn't whisper, it roars. This is the story of a mother who gave everything and the sons who finally came home. At a noisy construction site, under a sky full of dust, a foreman waves to a thin woman mixing cement. "Hey, take a break. Go grab something to eat," he says. But Olivia Sullivan doesn't stop. Her hands keep working. She's smaller than the rebar tower beside her, but tougher than the heat beating down. The others whisper while they watch. "She's a widow," they say. "Lost her husband early, 2 children by step, and 2 children by birth. All are still in school. No one helps her now. Just those rough hands keeping everyone fed." One coworker, moved by pity, presses a few dollars into her hand. "Take my wages for today," he says. Olivia shakes her head. "No, thank you." Pride may not fill her stomach, but it keeps her standing. That night, she comes home carrying a single lunchbox, leftover rice, and 1 small piece of meat. Her 4 kids rush over. "Mom's home!" They open the box like it's treasure. Olivia smiles. "You 4 eat first," she says. "I already ate at work." She didn't. When one son tastes a bad bun, he picks off the mold and tells her it's fine. She knows it's not, but she eats it anyway. Later, she gathers them around the worn kitchen table. They're all starting school soon. But she's short on money. 420 short. She counts the bills over and over. There's only 350. The eldest, Bobby, quietly says, "Let my brothers go. I'll stay home." Olivia's throat tightens. "Good boy," she whispers, but her eyes show defeat. The younger ones argue to take turns, but she stops them. "We'll leave it to fate," she says softly. She draws tiny lots, 1 marked red. Whoever gets it goes to school. Each boy pulls a paper. Aaron, Charlie, and Dean all find the red mark. Bobby looks at his blank one, smiles sadly. He pats their shoulders. "Study hard," he says. "Get out of this mountain someday." Olivia hugs them all close. Her voice shakes as she says, "You're all my good boys." The lamp flickers above them. It's not much light, but it's enough to keep hope alive. Days later at work, a concrete slab slips. Olivia falls hard. The others rush to help, but she insists, "I'm fine." She isn't. At the clinic, the doctor confirms what Hunger already told everyone. She's too weak, underfed, running on willpower alone. At home, her children cry when they hear. One says he'll quit school. Another promises to work in the city. But Olivia stops them. Her voice is soft but firm. "Your job isn't to earn money, it's to study. That's how we leave this life behind." She goes to a neighbor. Carol, a kind woman with a warm smile and flour on her hands for morning buns. Carol gives her 800, even though it's all she has. "Take it," she says. "For the kids." Olivia sends her boys off with the borrowed money tucked into envelopes, hugs that last too long, and simple lunches for the road. As the bus rumbles away, she finally lets herself cry. She doesn't cry from pain or hunger. She cries because her little boys are walking out into a world that won't know what she gave up to send them there. Before they disappear down the road, she shouts, "Never forget the people who helped you leave this mountain." The boys wave back, their hands small against the morning sun. 10 years crawl by. Olivia grows older, thinner, quieter. No letters come, only whispers that the boys are doing well in the city. When news spreads that Dean, her youngest, is getting married, she beams for the first time in years. She waits before dawn, steams buns, and packs local specialties in a neat cloth bag. She walks for miles to the city bus. Her shoes are cracked, but her heart races with pride. At the hotel's grand doors, security stops her. "No junk collection here, ma'am," one sneers. Olivia shakes her head. "I'm not here to collect junk," she says softly. "My son's wedding is today. I'm his mother." The guards laugh. "The only wedding today is for Mr. Sullivan and the daughter of Merrick," they say. Like that alone proves she's lying. Inside, Dean freezes when he sees her. He told his bride that his mother was traveling abroad. Now his lie stands in front of him, holding a bag of homemade food. "Dean," she whispers, eyes wet. "Congratulations." But Dean lifts away. "Mom, please," he says. "Don't make a scene." She doesn't want anything, not money, not gifts. She just wants to see her son happy. The bride, Seraphine, frowns at Olivia's worn clothes. "Those buns are filthy," she says. Then, with a smile as sharp as glass, she adds, "We do need a nanny, 2,000 a month. You could stay close to your grandson." Olivia hesitates, then nods. If that means I can be near him, she says quietly. That's how she starts working in her own son's house, as the help. And even then, she smiles, because for a mother like her, being near her children, even as a servant, still feels like love. Days turn into weeks inside that big, cold house. Olivia cleans floors that shine like mirrors but never reflect her face. She eats in the kitchen, sleeps in a tiny room that used to hold a dog. The bride's mother calls her old woman and laughs. Dean never says a word. One afternoon, the baby cries nonstop. The hired nurse, Sasha, blames Olivia, says she fed the baby sleeping pills. Then the nurse finds a tiny mark on the baby's heel and swears Olivia pricked him with a needle. It isn't true. Still, they drag her into the living room shouting. Seraphine crosses her arms. If you've got nothing to hide, prove it, she sneers. Olivia trembles, dignity against fear, and slowly, with tears burning behind her eyes, she undoes her buttons. Around her neck hangs a little wooden lock, old, worn smooth by years. Dean sees it, remembers carving one just like it as a boy, but he looks away. Get her out, he says quietly. They shove Olivia out into the pouring rain. She falls to her knees on the sidewalk, clutching that tiny lock against her heart. Headlights flash through the storm. A man jumps out, umbrella in hand. Mom? It's Aaron, her second son. He lifts her up, covers her with his jacket, and carries her to his car like she's glass. At Aaron's home, his girlfriend Lily wraps Olivia in a blanket and brings warm soup. Olivia holds the bowl with shaking hands. The smell of real food fills the room, and she breaks, silent sobs she's held for 10 long years. For the first time in forever, she sleeps through the night. Weeks later, Olivia walks into a luxury apartment sales office. Her clothes are plain, but her eyes are clear. I'd like to buy the small 2-bedroom, she says. The receptionist smirks. Do you know how much that costs? Before Olivia can answer, Dean and Seraphine appear, shopping for property too. Seraphine laughs. She's delusional. That's our nanny. But the manager's phone rings. He freezes, then stands straighter. Mrs. Hayes, he says, voice trembling. You're Mr. Hayes' mother? The room shifts. The woman they mocked is the mother of the man who owns the entire building. Olivia nods once. Yes, she pays in full. $2 million. Not borrowed money, not pity. Her own savings, years of quiet work under Aaron's company name. Later, at an investor's banquet, Seraphine brags to everyone about Dean's connections to the Hayes Group. Olivia sits quietly at the corner table, pretending to be invisible. Then Dean snaps. Mom, don't embarrass me. He tries to move her aside when Aaron walks in. Aaron stops in front of him, calm but cold. She's not the embarrassment here, he says. He takes the $5 million contract Dean came for and tears it in half. Paper can burn, pride can break. But a mother's name spoken with respect is the one thing you can't erase. After that night, Olivia doesn't argue. She simply disappears. She takes the early bus home, back to the quiet hills and red soil that once raised her sons. The neighbors notice her return. Carol, the same friend who once lent her money, brings fresh bread. You'll stay for good this time, she asks. Olivia smiles faintly. The city's too loud for an old heart. She plants vegetables behind the house, hums to the soil, talks to her late husband's grave. Peace, at last. Then, one morning, a sleek car pulls up the dirt road. Dean and Seraphine step out, all smiles and sweet words. They've heard about the government's new demolition plan, millions in compensation for homeowners. For a month, they act like the perfect children, cooking, helping in the fields, calling her mom again. Olivia lets herself believe it. But when the officials come with papers, she shakes her head. This land holds my husband's grave, she says. I won't sign it away. Dean's smile fades. The math starts to crack. She looks at him and wonders, where did I lose you? The mountain wind doesn't answer. Far from the mountain, two of Olivia's boys live like strangers to themselves. Bobby, the eldest, works rough jobs in the city, construction, collections, anything that pays fast. He's built a life on noise and danger, hiding the quiet ache of not knowing who he really is. Charlie, the third son, is sharper. Studied law, built a name, but carries the same hole inside him. Both men share a memory they can't explain. A wooden lock. A woman's voice calling them, my boys. They've searched for her for years, following rumors through towns, old photos, half-remembered stories. But cities are big and memories fade. Still, deep down, neither one ever stopped hoping. One day, a stranger approaches Bobby with an offer. Easy money, he says. Just convince some old woman to sign a demolition contract. She's holding up a deal worth millions. Bobby hesitates. $100,000 is more than he's ever seen. He takes the job. The address leads him down a dirt road to a small vegetable stand beside an old house. Behind it, a frail woman arranges fresh produce with careful hands. Ma'am, he says, rehearsing his script, your son owes a lot of money. You'll lose everything if you don't sign. Olivia looks up. Her eyes, tired but kind, meet his. "Give me 3 days," she pleads softly. Bobby should walk away, but something about her voice stops him. It's warm, familiar. He nods. 3 days, he says. That night, Olivia searches through Dean's things. Hidden inside a drawer, she finds the real papers, bankruptcy documents for the Merritt family. It hits her like a cold wind. They don't owe money. They just want her land. When she confronts them, Dean's face goes pale. He yells that she's ungrateful, that she'll ruin him. Seraphine's mask slips entirely. "You old fool," she spits. "You're worth more in dirt than alive." They drag her into the woodshed, lock the door. For days, they leave her there. Seraphine brings food dog scraps. When Olivia won't eat, she kicks the bowl over. Dean just stands there watching, saying nothing. In the dark, Olivia clutches the wooden lock around her neck and whispers prayers for her children, wherever they are. She doesn't pray for rescue. She prays they've grown into good men. The morning sky turns gray as trucks and bulldozers roll up the hill. Workers shout orders. The demolition crew lines up in front of Olivia's old home. Villagers gather, arguing, pleading. "Don't do this," Carol cries. "Her husband's buried here." The foreman waves a hand. "We've got her signature right here." Olivia stumbles out of the shed, voice hoarse. "That's not my signature." They ignore her. The machine lurches forward. She runs to the gate, arms spread wide. "If you tear this house down," she cries, "my children will never find me again." The engine roars. The ground shakes. Then a voice cuts through the noise. "Stop." From the crowd, Charlie pushes forward. He's been sent as legal counsel to oversee the demolition. But when he sees the wooden lock hanging around Olivia's neck, he freezes. In that moment, the world tilts. 1,000 blurred memories rush back. Childhood laughter, warm hands, the sound of his mother's voice. "Mom?" he whispers. He drops his papers and runs to her, kneeling in the dirt. Tears spill down his face. "Mom, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know." Bobby arrives next, eyes wide, breath shaking. He sees the lock too, and every buried memory comes roaring back. He runs to her side, wraps his arms around her. Aaron pulls up seconds later, jumps from his car, shouting at the crew to stop. Dean stands frozen by the house, face drained of color. For the first time in 20 years, all 4 sons are standing in one place again. 2 kneeling, 1 trembling, 1 too ashamed to look up. Aaron turns to Dean. "Enough," he says. "This ends now." He tears the demolition order in half and throws it to the ground. The crowd cheers. The machines go silent. Olivia's body shakes, but her heart feels full. She looks at her sons, grown men now, and smiles through tears. "They came back," she whispers. "My boys came home." Word spreads fast through the village. By sunset, everyone knows what Dean has done. How he denied his mother, how he let strangers humiliate her, how he traded her love for someone else's approval. Villagers who once gave Olivia eggs and bread now gather in silence. Carol stands near her, tears in her eyes. Dean drops to his knees in the dirt. "Mom, I'm sorry," he says. His voice cracks like glass. Olivia looks down at him for a long time. "I don't need you to bow," she whispers. "I just need you to change." Aaron stands beside her, steady, protective. Charlie steps forward too. "We'll handle the legal side," he says. "Nobody's taking this land again," Bobby nods, "or touching you." Seraphine looks around, her family's influence gone, her lies exposed. She starts to speak, but Olivia turns away. Some things don't need words. The foreman and crew quietly leave. The villagers go home one by one, leaving only the family standing by the half-torn gate. Olivia takes a breath, then looks at Dean again. "I'm not angry anymore," she says softly. "I've just missed you." Dean breaks completely, sobbing into her hands like a child. Forgiveness doesn't erase the past, but it opens a door for tomorrow. Months pass. Seasons turn. Olivia's house still stands, rebuilt, repainted, and alive again. Every month, one of her sons takes a turn caring for her. Aaron brings her to the city sometimes. Takes her to fancy restaurants she can barely pronounce. Bobby fills her cupboards with seafood and laughter. Charlie brings herbal tonics, cozy sweaters, and a new pair of red shoes every visit. Dean, quiet now, plants flowers outside the house, one for each year he was gone. Lily, Aaron's wife, becomes like a daughter to Olivia. They cook together, gossip about the boys, and hang laundry in the same yard where Olivia once cried alone. On weekends, all 4 brothers come home, teasing each other about who Mom loves most. She just smiles and says, "All of you, even when you were gone." The house fills with sound clinking dishes, children's laughter, the creak of old floors remembering better days. And at night, when the light softens and her sons finally fall asleep under the same roof again, Olivia sits by the window, hands folded around the little wooden lock. It's worn smooth, but strong, just like her heart. Far away, Dean's old world collapses. The Merritt family's fortune vanishes. He finds work as a street sweeper in the city, broom in hand, pride gone, but peace slowly returning. One morning, a little boy tugs at his sleeve. "Dad," he says, "are you embarrassed to do this job?" Dean kneels beside him, eyes gentle. No, he says softly, but I used to be. He tells his son a story about a woman who worked harder than anyone, loved deeper than anyone, and forgave even when she shouldn't have. Later, Dean walks back up the mountain path. He knocks on a familiar wooden door. Olivia opens it. He stands there in his work uniform, holding a small plant. I wanted to plant one more flower, he says quietly. She looks at him for a long moment, then steps aside. Come in, she says. Inside, the house smells of dinner and laughter. Dean joins his brothers at the table. No one talks about the past tonight, just stories, warmth, and the kind of peace only time can write. At the spring festival, the village gathers for a feast. Olivia sits beneath the same tree where she once sold vegetables. Now her grandchildren run circles around her, laughing. She shows them the little wooden lock. This, she says, smiling, held our family together. The kids pass it around carefully, eyes wide. When the fireworks bloom above the fields, Olivia looks up, whispers to the night sky, I kept my promise. They came home. The mountain is quiet again, but this time it feels like peace, not loneliness, because sometimes the hardest chapters teach us how to begin again. And even in the darkest times, hope still finds a way to rise.